Welcome to episode 1 of Dex's Dissections. It is presumed that you have fundamental knowledge of the Killer Bunnies starter set, so if you're new to the game, make sure to reference the Flows Fundamentals lecture series on the starter set. Poverty Poker is an iconic card that allows the player to force his opponents to gamble for any number of objects. Everyone who can play must play. The highest roller takes all. The player may reroll the die. The first question players might have is what is included within the term objects. The bunny bits give a list, and some others have been added by clarification. It includes all of the cabbage, water, radish, milk, defense cards, carrots, bunnies, dollar, medals, both coins and cards, zodiacs, mysterious places, and underground stations added recently. It does not include save specials that is explicitly left out of the list of objects for this specific case. In order to discuss some common situations, I wrote a computer program to simulate the results of Poverty Poker. I included a text entry for extra rerolls, for example if you had a red timid bunny, simulations to run, where the more simulations run, the more accurate your results will be. The player count, so if you're playing a 2 players gambling situation, or if you're playing an 8 players gambling situation, it accounts for all of that. And of course, the amount of dollar you're gambling. For example, if you were gambling 1 carat, that would be $10. It then calculates the average profit from all the situations. So if I gambled $10 with 2 players, how likely am I to win, and how much will I lose if I do not get the correct reroll? It averages out all those results and gives you an expected value, a commonly used statistics measurement. I have 2 common cases highlighted here. So with Poverty Poker, it's always been a question of, should I make the gamble larger and include fewer players, or should I make the gamble smaller and include more players? This situation highlights a 2-player scenario where the gamble is $20. That could be 2 carrots, it could be $20, could be 2 bunnies, not really important for all practical purposes. The bottom scenario is a 6-player scenario with a $4 gamble. It's worth noting that I purposefully made the rewards for winning each case equal. So if you win the first case, you will gain $20 from the one opponent you gambled against. If you win the second case, you will gain $4 from each that you won against, adding up to 20. So the results are the same. The differences occur where the first case you have a better chance of succeeding because you only have 1 opponent to roll against, but if you lose, you have more to lose because you gambled 20. The second case, you have a lower chance of succeeding because of the 5 opponents you're rolling against. However, you gambled less. If you lose, you only lose $4 in total. The expected value is higher in the first case. This would suggest that if you had an option between these 2 cases, statistically you should choose the first case. Whether or not it is correct to do so psychologically, based on your opponent's reactions to both cases, is dependent upon the group and is more fitting for other lecture series, Tucker's Theoreticals. Poverty Poker also has several other synergies that we won't cover in detail here, but the cards such as Lonely Ranger, Day Trippers, and General So, bunnies that roam, so if you lose them, you're basically not losing the bunny. Mad Bunny Disease has a very fun interaction. Bunnies that are starving to death or have other negative effects also are great things to gamble, since they have inherently less value. And of course, rerolls synergize with Poverty Poker quite well. This has been the first episode of Dex's Dissections, looking at Poverty Poker, highlighting some specific cases and some specific synergies. And as always, Jeff bless.